Hello little cuties and welcome to my channel Fixin' to Hillbilly. Today we're going to be making a beautiful wreath that's 14 inches and it's got a cute little sign that says blessed beyond measure, and that's so true for all of us. Now my name's Melinda and let's get started. Okay, let's get started with our supplies. You're going to need a sign. That Deco mesh tubing, you're going to need 9 of those, cut in 12 inches. The ribbons, you're going to need 18 in total, 9 and 9 of each color, cut in 12 inches. I'm using a multicolor Deco mesh from Hobby Lobby. All those are cut in 15 inches. There's 18 of them. The orange was cut in 10 inches, 18 of them. Okay, now today I'm going to be using the Chanel stems, or what I say pipe cleaners. And you're going to need a total of 18 of these for the wreath alone. So I do 2 on the bottom, which you know mine go A, B, C, and D. Outside wire is A, then B, then C, then D is the inside wire. So these are going on A and B. Then you're going to need the middle one to go on C and D. So there'll be 3 pipe cleaners in each section. And now you're just going to continue that all the way around. Now, once you're finished, the multicolor is cut in 15 inches. So you're going to fold the ends over to cover some of that fray, walk it up, and then fold over the top. Now sometimes I use a clip, but I was trying to get this put together a little more quickly because I have a couple of them to do for some clients. So now you just put that. I always do one piece at a time because that way, you know, if I decide I want to take away or put a little more, I can do that. So I'm going to put your 15-inch piece in first. Now the second piece is your 10-inch. You're just going to roll it in a tube. And then you're going to hook that in. Just give it a couple twists to hold it in tight. Then I'm going to do this ribbon that I've already got dovetailed on the ends. And I'm going to pull those out to the outside because remember, we've got a really big sign for that in the middle. Now, this piece of Deco mesh cord, we're going to fold it like you would like a breast cancer awareness ribbon. Just fold the 2 ends over in an X, and it'll do the rest itself. Then you're going to twist tie that in. Now, that's only going on every other one, so we're going to put it on always on the ribbon that has the zigzag pattern on it. Okay. Now, sometimes I cut these off, the pipe cleaners. Sometimes I use them. Today I've decided to use them to give, you know, just a little bit more character to the wreath. So what you do is just get you a glue stick or a pencil or whatever, and you're just going to keep wrapping it around. Fold it all the way down until there is no more. And then just pull it out. And you got your cute little design there. And you don't have to cut it off, and you actually got another piece there. Okay, and then in the next one, we're going to fold it over at the end, walk it up in the middle, and then the other end gets folded over. And I noticed when I sold a couple of my wreaths actually to the same person the other day, and she said there's not a lot of fray. The reason there's not a lot of fray in my wreaths are because I fold those ends over, so that hides a lot of it, so all that's not sticking out. But you can always spray it with a spray glue. I've done that before. Just make sure you spray it, you know, before you give it to someone or whatnot, so that it's dry. Okay, and now on this one, now I'm going to put in the 10-inch roll that's orange. Now this is going to be the same all the way around. The only thing that's going to change is the ribbon. Just give it a couple twists. Another thing you can use for the fray is hairspray, but I don't like to use hairspray because the smell. Some people don't like the smell. That glue I can't smell. So, okay, now I'm going to put in a ribbon, twist it around, and then just pull those down to the outside, because remember that that sign we've got going in the middle is pretty good size. So we definitely want to cover that up. Alright, and then just twist that around a couple times. And I always double check it just to make sure that, you know, it's all in there. That it's twisted tight enough, and because we don't want those coming out either, you know, because sometimes I give mine as gifts to my daughter and, you know, maybe my granddaughter or something. So you don't want those coming apart. Okay, and when you're done with that, then you're just going to roll it down the pipe cleaner with the hot glue stick just to make another decoration on your wreath. Or you can cut them off. That's totally up to you. You know how I am. I always say just do you. Whatever makes you happy is always the best way to go. Now you're going to just continue this all the way around your wreath, rotating back and forth in between the two color ribbons. So now I'm going to use the zigzag ribbon in this one again. Now, once I had everything done, this was my completed wreath. And as you can see, it's really full. You can't see the back. Now this particular sign, I did get at the Dollar Tree, but I did add those two little leaves and those two little sunflowers at the bottom just to give it a little bit more pop. I cut the jute twine off the top and put a chenille stem in there, or pipe cleaner. I always call them pipe cleaners, but I put that in there to attach it to the back. Now also keep in mind, when I got finished with this, so that my pipe cleaners didn't move, because I do notice that they do move more than the zip ties, I go around and put just a little dot of hot glue on the back on each one of those so they'll stay in place, because I want two on the bottom row, and I want them to stay about an inch apart from the crossbar. And then the other one's going to go in the center of that. So we really don't want those moving. Okay, and then you can just fluff everything out. I always fluff my stuff out a couple times. I'll do it now, but then in the end, I always put it on the wall and fluff it out, because then that way you can see that the sign is straight. It might be over a little bit too far. You can kind of move things around, you know, and get it the way you want it. I really like that little sign. I thought that was pretty. Now I'm going to take my ribbon, and this is some ribbon. Actually, this ribbon is from last year, Dollar Tree. I didn't see it over there this year, but this is from last year. I thought it would be real pretty in this wreath though. So you put your tail down, then you're going to go through and make a hoop. You're going to twist it to the not so pretty side and go back through again. And the not so pretty side is the lighter side. You're going to twist it to that side, because when you make this hoop for your bow, then it's going to be on the right side. Alright, and then we're going to use some of that zigzag ribbon to kind of pull all this together, because that's in it's in the wreath too, so we want to pull it all together. But I did want to use a few different colors. Now this piece of orange, I didn't really have a lot of this, and I really didn't have a lot to do a full bow, so what I did is I just took it and run a couple tails down just to have something else to run. And then that way you're using up all your leftover ribbon. You don't have any left over, because I don't like throwing ribbon away, especially a piece that size. But it wasn't really big enough to do like a ribbon. So you run this through, Now watch me, flipping to the not so pretty side, and then I'm going to run it back through again. I think I got that a little bit cockeyed in there. There we go. Okay, now then you're going to run it back through. That way everything that's showing is the pretty print side, not the not so pretty side. So once again, I'm going to make a hoop, twist it to the not so pretty side, and run another hoop over top of it. Now I'm going to twist again. That's going to be the ugly side, I call it. And then you'll make that hoop. These are real easy bows to make, and I have a video with just a bow on it that you can watch too. I'll put that in the link below. And then I'll pull that other tail down and just cut it off. Now, once I get done, I just go ahead and dovetail the ends. It gives it more, I think, of a polished, finished look, you know, than just a straight cut across the bottom. You can cut it diagonally. You can cut it in a peak, which is reverse, like a peak going down the middle. That one's cute too. But this one's my favorite. I always just like to dovetail them. And that's real simple to do. You just fold it in the middle, and then you're just going to cut at an angle. And that's what gives you your dovetails. Real simple. Fold in the middle, cut from middle to end, and then you got a real pretty dovetail there. Fold in the middle, cut from the middle to the end. And that's the middle of the ribbon. Now, on this, I'm going to use a zip tie for this one, but I'm going to lay one zip tie across the back. That's what's going to attach to my sign, because I don't want to have to fight this and the sign and all that. It's just too much of a headache. So I attach an extra zip tie to the back, and then this zip tie is going to hold everything together. And you just pull that tight and flip it to the back so you can cut that off. Then you're going to start fluffing out your bow. Now I could have put a bigger bow on this particular wreath, but I didn't, simply because that sign is big, and it's just too busy if you have too much going, I think. Well, I mean, really can't have too much decoration. But for me, I really just didn't have the room because of that sign. So, and I didn't really want to take away from that sign because, you know, I like the saying on it. You know, blessed beyond measure. And that's something I think sometimes we forget. Some people look at everything that they don't have, and they forget to look at all the beautiful things and blessings that they do have in their life. And I've been guilty of it too. Now, I'm going to attach this to that hole right there on the top of the sign. I like this sign because it looks like a little cutting board. Because, see, that's already attached to the back with a pipe cleaner. So it's not going anywhere. So I'm just going to attach that and then pull it up a little bit so it doesn't cover up the sign. Then you're just going to take your pliers, or not your pliers, but your wire cutters, and just go ahead and clip those off. Those ends off to those zip ties. Now what I'm doing here is I'm just folding these up a little bit, just crimp it and crimp it down so that way it don't hang over the sign. And if you need to, you can always take a little bit of hot glue, which is what I did in the end. I crimped them, but then I took a little bit of hot glue, like just a dot, and then just kind of laid them on top of the wreath. That way, everything was, laying down and not down in the message of the sign. So there's your end result. I want to thank y'all for being here with me today and joining me on my channel. And I appreciate all of you. Blessings to every one of you that are here and your families. And remember, you were born to do great things. So stay strong in the Lord. Never give up hope. And always take time to pray. It's important. All right. We'll see you next time. Bye.